Hello friends, we are back and this time we are going to see the effect of derivative control action on first order system and then on second order system. We will be employing this derivative control alone, only derivative, no p, no I. These things, the combinations of proportional and integral and derivative we'll see in the second stage of this very session. But we start with the effect of derivative control action only. And for that, my dear friends, we are going to see that again we will be having a derivative control action alone. Then in that case, the transfer function of the controller is given by Kc tau d into S. This Kc is constant. It's always the gain is always there. It's the same Kc which we used in the proportional, the same Kc upon tau I which we used in integral. It's the same Kc into tau d. In this case, we are using in the derivative controller. This Kc is common for all. So you change one Kc, it's common for all. It changes in all. In case you are using all the three. In case you are using only one, then it's written in terms of Kc into tau ds. This is the derivative control action and the transfer function of the controller is given by this. Now again, for the sake of simplicity, as we have already always been doing, is that we are assuming that the transfer function of measuring element is 1. We are assuming that the transfer function of final control element is 1. So going in for that, if you see, we have the output of the system again when we are taking a servo problem. Why we are taking servo problem? Because in that case the effect of disturbance, that is d bar s, if you remember, that is equal to 0. That for the first order transfer function, this is the system with the first order transfer function dynamics, and since we have gf and gm is equal to 1, we are taking no note of that, into gc. So this is basically what this is, gp, the dynamics of the process. It's a first order process, into the dynamics into the transfer function of controller, that is kc tau ds. So you have, as you know, you have gp into gc divided by 1 plus gp gc. So the same things, instead of gp you're putting this, instead of gc you're putting this, and the final response is given by this equation. This is the first order system, and on application of this derivative controller, what you get after simplification is this is what you get, this is what you get. So the first thing which strikes you clearly is that, number one, the first order system remains first order system. It doesn't increase as it was in case of integral. It does not increase on account of derivative alone does not increase the total overall order of the system. The only thing is that this tau p, it was tau p, initially it was tau p, now it becomes tau p plus kp into kc into tau d. So this tau p increases. So this system time constant that you can see, that has now gone up, and these are the things which we'll be studying, we will be having a look at in the next slide. So dear friends, as I said that the derivative control does not change the order of this response. This is the first observation as we have. And second is that the time constant, the effective time constant, as you can see from here, that in case of the closed loop containing derivative, it becomes tau p plus kp plus kc plus kd. This is what we have been telling you in the last slide also. This is obviously larger than tau p. It means that the response of the controlled process is slower. This is a very important thing. I will be repeating it again and again. In case of derivative, it dampens the system, it slows down the system as compared to what it was in the original uncontrolled one. And further, as this kc is increased, as the effect of this gain is there, the effective time constant, it further increases. It means becomes more slow. More is the kc, slower is the value, so slower is the process as such. This is the second conclusion which we draw from this expression. You can see that tau p becomes tau p plus kp into kc into tau d. So this is the effect of kc which we have been examining in all the three cases over here. So now you see, we have seen this is the effect of derivative control on the first order system. We shall now go on to see the effect of derivative control on the second order system. What if the system is already second order and then we go on for applying a derivative control over there, how it's going to affect the dynamics of second order system. My dear friends, here is the second order system, Kp upon tau square s square plus 2 zeta tau s plus 1. This is something very familiar to you right now. And you apply a derivative control to it, like this is Gp multiplied by Gc upon 1 plus Gp into Gc. And again, this is for the given servo problem. We are taking y bar sp, and in case of loading ds bar, that is assumed to be 0. And if we rearrange these terms once again, on rearranging the terms, this it's coming out to be like this. And in second order system, what we see is that there is no change in tau. This tau remains tau. It doesn't become tau plus something, but this thing 2 zeta tau, this term increases. It means that the damping increases. This is something very significant, that the damping new zeta will be more than the old zeta. This is something which is very significant, will be taken into account, and that's what we are going to exploit the use of derivative control in our control systems. So as said, period, the natural period of the closed loop, that is the same, but the new damping factor tau dash, that is more, it can easily be found from here, that 2 zeta dash tau is equal to 2 zeta tau plus it's getting something added to it. So obviously zeta dash is greater than zeta, because tau is the same, this tau is same as this tau, so there is no change in that, but this zeta dash is going to be more. And let us see how it's going to affect the system response, its dynamics, its behavior with respect to time in the next slide. So my dear friends, what do we conclude so far? That the moment you go in for a derivative controller, the closed loop response is more damped, and this damping increases as Kc increases or tau d increases, because that's the values which the zeta depends upon. Now this characteristics, it produces more robust behavior. What do you mean by robust? That's what we're going to see, that the decrease in the speed of the response, once it is there, zeta is more, it means it decreases the speed of the response. And the increase in damping, it simply says that this response is more robust. Robust means it will be less oscillatory, robust means it will be having less overshoot. That is why it's robust. It's not going to be affected by the oscillations. As such, introduction of derivative, it actually makes it sturdier and robust in its behavior. To bring about this point, let us see the things one by one. First of all, we will have to see what do you mean by robust. Here we mean lesser overshoot and quick decay as such. So that is what we are going to see. If you have the expression of overshoot, what you see in this expression for overshoot, that you have the value zeta. If the value of zeta goes up, as it has already been indicated that the introduction of derivative control, it increases the value of zeta. As zeta goes up, obviously the overshoot goes down, and that makes the system more robust. Same is the case for the decay ratio, which is nothing but proportional to overshoot square. And here again the same thing is there, that if zeta goes up, this decay ratio, it goes down. So it proves that going in for derivative controller, the system becomes more robust. It becomes lesser, it gives us a lesser overshoot, it gives us a quick decay as such, because the decay ratio goes down, it quickly decays down. So the effect of that is that we can afford to have higher gains. We can afford to have higher gains to make the system more sturdy, robust, and fast. As such, we can go in for this is what we are going to see the effect of derivative control as such. Now let us see what is the effect of the overall composite control. If we go in for, we will study this one by one, that why we do not use proportional controller. The first question, why is I or D required? The limitation of proportional controller is that it cannot reduce the offset to 0. But introduction of I, as you go in for in case of P. Instead of P, we go in for PI. The moment we introduce I, it increases the order. It makes the system sluggish. And in order to make it faster, when you increase the gain, it starts showing oscillatory behavior. To reduce these oscillations, to reduce this uh, overshoot, what you do is you increase the value of you introduce the value of D as such. So this is something we go in for in case of PID. This is what I have told you, and this is the effect of the composite control as such in PI and D, all three applied together. We are going to repeat this thing one by one in the following sections as such. So the effect of PI is that, first of all, the first thing is that the moment you introduce I, the order of the response increases. This is the effect of integral mode. But the biggest advantage of going in for integral mode is that the offset is eliminated. So this is the effect of PI control on the system. That's the reason we go in for PI instead of P. What we see is that as Kc is increased, the system becomes faster but more oscillatory. So we see that as tau I decreases for constant Kc, the response becomes faster again but more oscillatory. So either you increase Kc or you decrease tau I, this effect is the same in both the cases. That is, the system will become faster. No doubt it will become faster, but it will become more oscillatory. It will start showing overshoots, and the decay ratio will be also not high. uh, rather it will be continued for a longer period of time. It will not decay quickly. We go in for PID control. This is the reason, and we have to introduce the value of derivative. And the idea that we go in for derivative is that integral as such, I'm repeating this thing, it slows down the process. To speed up the process, we increase the value of Kc, but the effect of higher value of Kc is that the system will become more oscillatory, and oscillatory means it can become unstable. That's what we do not want. So going for that, we go in to avoid system becoming oscillatory. We add a derivative mode to it to bring about the stabilizing effect as such. So stabilizing means that the overshoot is reduced and we have a decay ratio which results in a quicker delay, quicker decay of the oscillations. That's what is the ultimate contribution of derivative control to this overall controlled system. Let's summarize this. The effect of Kc, as you can see from here, this Kc1 is highest, this is in between, this is lower. Going in for low gains means the system is sluggish. Going in for low gains is means that the system is sluggish. So if we increase the gain, the system becomes fast, you can see as from here, but then it becomes more oscillatory. It becomes more oscillatory. It will result in a longer oscillations and greater overshoots. So the way to go in for is take something in between. In between, the best one is to go in for Kc2. Kc2 means it's neither too low nor too high, neither it's having too much of oscillations nor it is too slow. We take a trade-off, we go somewhere in between. So this is what we are going to choose. This is the effect of gain. Once we apply a complete PID tuning as such, we go in for the moderate values of Kc2 here again. So let's summarize the whole thing for P and I and D in the next slide and see how it works. Dear friends, this is a beautiful graph which I was ultimately able to get to, is that I introduce a step change. So you can see this is 1. I introduce a step change. It's a servo problem. And what if it is a second order system? What if I go in for only proportional controller? Only proportional controller. The response of only P controller is that it will oscillate for some time and then it will find and settle at a new steady state, but this new steady state will not be equal to unity. So there is some offset which always remains. So this is the limitation of P controller, which I've been telling you number of times, but this is now shown diagrammatically over here so that you can have a visual glance of what is the effect of P. This is the response of P only. But the moment you add I to it, then addition of I has a good effect, and that it results into an oscillations and overshoots and so on. But the good thing is that the offset it is zero. The offset is zero. So you can see that in case of P there was offset. In case of Pi, this offset is reduced. But the introduction of I, it results in you can see over here overshoots, and it's going to take long time to decay. It is going to continue till this point. So you introduce D. The moment you introduce D, in that case two things happen. Number one, the overshoot that decreases, you can see over here, and with more D you can increase the value of Kc. The system becomes faster. You see now the system becomes faster, and the overshoot decreases, and the oscillations they die out very quickly. You see it the whole oscillations they finish off here itself. So as we see, better than P is Pi, and better than Pi is PID, and the value of gain which you have to use should be such that it should not result in higher oscillations. So we use moderate values of Kc, but even with the moderate of PID is higher than moderate of Pi, because we go in for the derivative. The biggest advantage of derivative is that with that derivative we can afford to have higher gains, quicker response, and still have lesser overshoots which die out quickly. So these are the three advantages of going in for derivative control. So along with P and along with I, so PID control is the best one. It needs a proper tuning, and how to tune it we will see in the subsequent sessions. As such, as far as the composite effect of all P, I and D on a second order system is concerned, so I can say that it's all for now, and you will be learning more and more about tuning of the controllers in the subsequent sessions. If you have any queries or you have any doubts or you want to communicate with me, you have Zoom sessions, you have LMS, you have WhatsApp, you can talk to me on phone, you can have face-to-face interactions as the case may be. I thank you for being with me once again. I wish you a very safe stay and enjoy learning. Bye bye. What we see is that as Kc is increased,